Hey there, guys. So today, the 5 day lockdown ended, which was awesome. I was a little bit worried that it was going to drag on far longer because previously, we had a lockdown that was only meant to go for 2 weeks and it went for months on end. So, gave me a few thoughts, especially for you guys that are obviously overseas and stuck in lockdown with gyms closed and, training can be quite difficult. So, if I was in that situation where I literally had no gym equipment, what I'd do is, do my best in terms of bodyweight stuff. That would be stuff like push-ups, pull-ups, box squats, lunges, dips. Pistol squats are really quite hard to do and take a lot of strength. You still have your ab crunches. You can also do calf raises, use two legs at a time or just use one leg and, go and find like a step, something you can stand up and down on. That gives a real good stretch. It's a lot harder as well. And then other things like single leg hip raises, and just see what else you have around. A lot of the time, most of you guys will still have parks and have access to going outside. Look at improving your cardio and just general fitness, especially if you don't have a lot else to do, and just view it as a deload. Doing 4 sets of 20 or 4 sets of 25 for push-ups is still going to help maintain a lot of strength and especially mass in your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull-ups, you could probably go to a park, especially, at night time. I doubt there's going to be any kids playing on the playground, and if so, that's a little bit worrying. But, you can do your pull-ups there. A lot of those places, they also have the parallel dip bars, so you can do dips, which obviously is going to hit your triceps really quite hard if you keep your torso up. If you lean forward, it's going to hit a lot more of the chest. You could do box squats at home, but do them properly. So not simply just sitting down onto a chair and standing up. Take quite a wide stance. Pretend there's a piece of paper under each foot and press your feet into the ground and out to the side. And then when you squat down, you want to obviously sit on the chair, let some of your force go through it, but you don't want to put all your weight into the chair. And when you stand up, do not lean forward. You have to lean, if anything, slightly backwards. You want to come straight up. And they're really quite hard to do, and a lot of people just can't do them properly. And you see it with, elderly people when they sit on a chair, they will lean forward in order to counterweight themselves to stand up because that's a far easier way of getting up off a chair. So, if you're doing box squats and sitting down and going straight up with no lean forward whatsoever, it's far, far harder. And then also, again, you've got lunges. You can take a wide stance or like quite a narrow one, whatever you want to hit more. If you lean forward, you're obviously going to put a lot more pressure on your quads. If you push back up, you're going to hit a lot more of the glutes and hamstrings. Pistol squats, that's just like your one-legged squat all the way down. Most people can't do them. If you sort of find normal squats and box squats, they're challenging but not too much, but you can't do pistol squats, just simply try, doing a pistol squat but sitting onto a chair and standing up. Progress it that way. Worst case scenario, you're going to thoroughly work a lot of the stabilizer muscles of the hip joint. So, when you do go back to squatting, hopefully in the very near future, you're just going to be in a better position. The other one is, work your abs. You've got ab crunches. You've got planks that you can still do. Just hold a plank for 2 minutes and do that, for 3 sets. A lot of people really do not develop their abs, and that's a major weakness when it comes to squats and deadlifts. And a lot of people go, squats and deadlifts hit the abs well, and yeah, they do to an extent, but at the same time, like, you're not directly training them. You could use that logic and say, I'm not going to train triceps because they get worked when I'm doing bench press, Yeah, you might get some decent triceps, but they're going to be far better if you work them directly. And same thing goes for biceps. People go, I'm not going to train biceps. I get enough indirect arm work from doing pull-ups, chin-ups, and rows. Well, yeah, they'll still grow to an extent, but the person that actually goes and does the curls, they're going to be far better off. So the same logic applies with abs. If you train them, they're going to respond. And calf raises, again, calves just add to overall physique development. So definitely, do those. You'll find they help a lot more with athletic ability. But in terms of aesthetics, like, you look at the amount of people that don't have, significant calf mass, and that's nearly all the population. And then, you got single leg hip raises, or you can just, do normal hip raises again. Just place your upper back on a chair and do them that way. Cardio, things like that, maybe work on running, a kilometer or a mile, depending what country you're in. Actually take some pride in your fitness and develop it, because long term, it's really going to help with strength gains, recovery. You're going to feel a lot better long term. And the other thing, yeah, lockdown's not great, but if you do have a forced, lockdown where you can't go to the gym, just literally view it as a deload, your spinal vertebra, if you had any potential bulging discs whatsoever, everything gets a really good chance to recover. And just make the most of it, and just remember that, you can still control certain factors like nutrition and sleep. They play a big one. Especially nutrition, you might go, you know what, I'm going to lean out and I'm going to make my training quite light, and I'm just going to stick to all the body weight exercises that I just mentioned then. I mean, that's also a very good approach. If you're trying to bulk up, well, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder, but you might just increase the frequency. You might do those body weight movements 3 times a week, work on reducing your break times down to a minute, and doing, sets of, 20 reps, things like that. It's all going to carry over, and you're still going to be in a far, far better position when you go back to the gym. The other thing is, because you're keeping the movement patterns somewhat active, because you're still using, those muscle groups, you'll find it will not take you long whatsoever to get back to your previous numbers. And for the vast majority of people that have only, just started lifting or are sort of in that intermediate range, you'll even find that you do that general conditioning, and 2 weeks after going back to the gym, you're going to be hitting, PBs and PRs again, simply because, you're fitter, leaner, healthier, better conditioned. It makes a massive difference. So don't view everything as a negative. Just look at the things you can control and work on them. Like, I've given you quite a few exercises that you can do. Maybe you do them each day, 3 sets, then the second day, you might just dedicate to sort of ab work and cardio and repeat it that way. At least you have something to do. Like, just because the gym's closed isn't an excuse to do nothing. People have, not had gyms for the vast majority of history. And I'm sure some of you will be able to find, stones and rocks and lift them and things like that. Have a think about what you still have. And if you don't have much, you still have your body weight. So keep that in mind and keep some perspective. And I hope, you guys found it of use, and wherever you are, that your lockdowns don't drag on for too much longer. If you guys haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and have a great day wherever you are.